No.
Ladies
and gentlemen,
please welcome to the stage
Bounder
and CAD.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Probably mostly ladies, according to the stats. But if there are any gentlemen here, thank you very much for joining as well. I'm Adam Drew.
I'm Guy Hayward.
Yes,
we are Bounder and CAD.
Musical comedy duo. So what would we normally be doing with an audience, Guy? What's the usual form of our engagement?
Well, we're sometimes known as the posh Ant and Dec. So we're here to get to know you.
But we would normally be performing to an audience at a very exciting cabaret club called Zedel, which alas is closed. They still haven't fully explained why, but instead we're going to hopefully entertain you this way.
The curtains look a bit like that up.
Hello, Kimberly. The audience are in. Very nice to see you. Kimberly is in fact a returning audience member, which is very flattering. So we did our first ever last week. So this is our second ever. And what did we learn last week, Guy? Are there any?
Well, that we shouldn't talk over each other, like squabbling schoolboys.
Correct. I almost did it. We shouldn't talk over each other. So now, of course, as Guy was saying, we're known as the posh Ant and Dec, or even the singing Ant and Dec, because we perform these songs. Guy, can you name me a song? Any song?
God Save the Queen.
Should we do it? God save
our gracious Queen. No.
So what are we going to do instead, since we can't sing live?
We're just going to ask each other questions.
We are. So with a combination, we're going to give you some music in the form of some video clips, which Nigel, our very obliging producer, will play for us. But also, Guy is right. First right answer. Good evening, Diana Brooke. Lovely to see you again.
Oh, she's got the hat again.
Ah, which regiment was that from?
Of the Gentle at Arms.
Correct. Hello, Amy. Qualified history teacher.
Got a historical sword.
Yes, that's an amazing sword. And hello, Nicholas Sopp, double P, S-O-P-P. I think you're new to the gang.
Wait, that's singular, gentleman. Which one are you saying good evening to?
True. Teresa Harbour. Oh, it was very chatty this evening. Anyway, we mustn't get distracted. So as well as playing you some video clips of our songs, Guy and I will be having a bit of a quiz. You're welcome to chime in. We'll be asking each other between each other one factual question and one personal question. Did they get quite personal last time, Guy? What did you feel like what did we talk about?
I don't know whether they're going to be as personal this time, but who knows? They could be more personal. It depends where it all flows, you know?
That sounds like a threat. I'm excited. But do you reckon we're ready for a first song, Guido? Should we do it?
I reckon. Let's have a song.
Roll the clip, Nigel.
To the English crown with a red head of hair that his dad passed down. He's the young cheeky chap of the Windsor family.
Top lad, thrills and spills, never mind Charles and Bill.
He's our favourite in royalty.
Prince Harry, best of the three, did well at Eton. Geography and with some art B and a D.
At Sandhurst, best of his rank, he won command of the tank.
Don't mention the time he dressed like a Nazi. Prince Harry, polo pony aficionado, beat Usain in the fast lane devilishly.
He's quite a player of sport, for charity causes he's fought.
The prince who knows how to court paparazzi.
He's pulled 70 girls at Mahiki.
Chelsea blonde girls, he's had 93.
Not exactly your standard Prince Charming,
but they love a rut.
Ginger nut, he's attractive like Ron Weasley.
Prince Harry flies Apache, royally landed.
Chopper mad, Bounder and CAD rather flighty.
But which fair lass will he wed
to fill that princely sized bed?
He said to Pippa and Kate, there's room for 3.
He's got hundreds of acres in Berkshire. Then wherever he lands his duchy.
Then there's Sandringham, Balmoral Castle.
From Clarence House he'll take his spouse right on over his nan's 40. Prince Harry, Prince Harry,
Prince Harry, Chelsea Davy may not have bagged him. Then there's Pips wiggling those hips at the Abbey.
He'd hardly need an excuse for Florence Brudenell Bruce.
There's TV presenters and lingerie tarts all making their claim for our Red Prince of Hearts.
Our nation's in peril from Jordan and Cheryl, advancing not so gingerly
to marry our Prince Harry.
Well, how times have changed. Now, I know what you're going to say. That song might be a little...
our website. It's not the same website. It's boundaryandcat.com.
Hello, Britannia. What an appropriate name for such a British song.
No.
What is the significance of that song before we crack into the quiz?
What was that?
Sorry, I was saying, what is the significance of that song, one we just heard?
It was our first song that we did together.
Way back in 2012. And not only have we changed, I think it's fair to say that Harry has changed. Hello, Denise Maiden. Yeah, we've sort of considered updating this song. Now he's changed beyond all recognition, but we haven't quite got around to it yet. Faye, thank you for the lol. That's what we do it for. Okay, so crack into the questions now. Guy, number one, factual question.
Okay.
We're going to be keeping score. Thank you. Number one, in the Harry Potter universe, what are the names of the Weasley twins? It's quite tricky.
Fred.
Yes.
Fred.
And 2 points here.
Why didn't I know this?
A little clue. It's
Fred Weasley and...
It's alphabetical, next letter along.
Oh.
It's not your name, but...
G. That is... I can do F. I could do...
Quite a royal name.
George.
Fred and George. 2 points out of 1 for Guy. Very nicely done.
Royal, it's just...
Well, you're all over it. So
George, you sort of land on it. It's like kind of... You're there.
Yeah.
You can trust it, George.
Strong names. Good names instead of a sweet shop. I actually looked them up. And oddly enough, the real names you played them now seem to be no longer ginger somehow. But yeah, things change. Number 2. Question number 2. It was very unclear. That wasn't good. 2. Fred and George, Fiona, I'm afraid Guy beat you to it. But yes, yeah, they all knew. We're lucky you got that one right, Guy, because the crowd, the audience would have worked. Tris Tarrant stuff. Question number 2, Guy. What is the first single or album that you bought?
But actually, I can never remember the single. I think the single was Blue, Eiffel 65. I'm blue, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, and da-ba-dee, da-ba-die. But the first album I bought was Spice Girls.
Guy, superb. They're original. It was called Spice, I believe.
It's called Spice. You know, why change something that they don't know works yet?
I think again you got 2 points out of 1 somehow. Very, very good answers. So Guy is leading the quiz with 4 points already. So my turn.
Okay. So is it now my turn? It is, isn't it?
Please.
Okay, so name as many categories of charities that Harry is patron of.
Oh, good grief. Well, there's definitely the Invictus Games.
Okay, what is that? What kind of category?
Veterans charity.
Sorry, what?
Veterans charity.
Okay,
yeah. He's very into his rugby.
Yeah.
Charity. Okay, 2.
Yeah.
So I get a point for every category. It was just a 1 point.
I don't know.
Opens to. Okay. He quite likes elephants, or is that his brother? Along with the Spice Girls.
Close to elephants, not quite elephants, from what I understand. Actually, it could be elephants.
Okay, it was just sort of African wildlife. So we know he loves.
Yeah, African wildlife. Yeah.
One I might have heard.
Yeah.
HIV charity.
Yeah.
That's 4. Are there more than? Is it double figures, Guy? Or how long are we going to be?
So there's one more. Okay, I'll tell you. Do you want to know? There are. Yes, 5 really.
Right. Okay.
There's another. You've kind of done extra ones that weren't on my list, but there's another sport Actually, another 2 sports,
Mm-hmm.
and then a Canada thing.
Canada charity.
A Canadian charity.
She Megan. That was the plan, wasn't it?
Well, if you want me to put you out of your misery, you'll never guess it.
And our audience.
He's a patron of the Royal Ontario Museum.
Of course he is.
A museum. It doesn't seem like a museum type. Rhino is the specific African species that he's into. And he's also patron of African parks and cricket.
Oh, yeah,
and diving, which is surprising.
He's a paddy-powered.
Basically, he's a kind of action man charity patron.
He is, isn't he? But now he's sitting alone in a multi-million property in LA. So
yeah.
Sorry, guy, I missed that.
So that was the factual question.
Oh yeah. Let's get personal.
But, now, sometimes I'm walking around the street, not anymore, but you know, I'm walking around my house. Suddenly, I feel like a prince. I feel like, yeah. You know, when did you last feel a prince? And what made you feel like prince? And how did it feel?
Oh, what a lovely question. It was actually only on Saturday. because I was playing pétanque, drinking champagne on Royal Avenue, which I hope isn't illegal. So don't give me the full Cummings. But I think last Saturday I last felt princely, thanks to those fireworks and a game of boule. So
what? Okay, right.
Right, but now I think shall we open the questions more widely to our
let's do that.
To audience, if you have any questions, irrespective of relevance to anything, do fire away. There'll be a slight delay. Ooh, fais nor me. That sounds like a line from Shakespeare. Fais nor me. Oh, hello from Philadelphia. Yes, Gordon Reed. We were very touched by your comments because now didn't you used to be the sort of Archbishop of a continent? I think that's right, actually. He's
that's incredible.
Distinguished clergyman. But thank you, Gordon, very much.
I once got poisoned by an archbishop.
Guy, you can't.
No, in the Archbishop of Lima gave us dirty ice cubes, the entire Trinity choir at Cambridge. And the flight home was extraordinary.
Didn't someone manage to ruin a white suit as well in the same bow?
You know that thing when you jump up and you click your things like that? Well, he bought some white trousers from an Indian's market and proceeded to do that. And it's pretty blokey humour that. Sorry about that.
No. So Faye, you're right. I expected Polo as well for Harry. And what else do we have coming in? We're losing track of the story of ooh. Great question. Guy, you go first. So I just gave my answer.
Oh, it's a car, will they be? Oh. A Mini Cooper.
I'd agree with that, actually. I think very, does the job very well. Stylish, nippy.
But yeah, it's got good torque. Good goes around the corners really, really well.
I think a Mini once won the Grand Prix. Or whatever it's called, the Monte Carlo, something or other. I'm told. My cousin used to drive one. Oh, only the Vicar of Europe. Hello. I would have worn my Beretta. Vicar General of Europe. Goodness, the modern Major General.
Gordon, can I ask how many churches that is? Presumably they're Church of England. Are they Church of England or is it Catholic?
Bro, that's what we want to know.
Anyway,
wow.
we'll wait for his.
Very quickly, I'll be a Jaguar E-Type. That's what car would be. Out of all the songs you've written, what is your favourite? Mine is Just for Doing the Fludger. Thank you very much, Kimberly, because actually we were thinking of encouraging requests for the next online show if we keep doing these, and we can include this. I too used to love flower duets. For those of you that don't know, that was our Bake-Off themed version of the classic opera duet, the Flower Duet, usually spelled with a W. But Guy, how about you? What are your
I like singing and performing the G-string song because I can just completely go for it, and I just love just letting loose into a character, which I don't even know what the character is, but I let loose.
Very loose bit of underwear. Yeah. Good on. And Fiona asked, Marmite, it's Bovril or Bovril, I reckon. That could be a typo. I wouldn't want to presume. But I'd say neither. I'm afraid. Not into my More my bovine guy. You?
Well, I'm saving up Bovril for the second half of my life. I love Marmite, but I think Bovril. I think I'm going to grow into Bovril.
Excellent. Yeah, it is a slightly more manly one, a real Mini Cooper. Ooh, we're getting technical, guy.
I actually reckon pretensions of technological sophistication and modernity, I'd say a BMW Mini Cooper.
But just to please the fans, I'd go with the original Italian job all the way, speeding around Turin. Okay, lovely questions. Thank you, everyone. And the scores are on the boards. How we both spin a Ben. Very confident.
Copying with lockdown. Well, Adam's copying with lockdown very well.
In the sense of, yeah, you got me there. And you're not running into the cops, that's for sure. Are you, guy? Because you're Cancer. Ooh,
yeah, no, I'm in the countryside, so
not too many cops there. So you're copping down. Cancer, yeah, good question. I would say cats because they smell less, guy.
Oh, dogs. I love because dogs just love you, and you just have so much more a much happier time with dogs.
Without meaning to say you peek too far behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's quite attuned with our shtick. I'd say I'm probably the cat, no, the cat. Yeah. You've got the Labrador energy, the two of us. Yeah. Which is a very lovely thing. But
okay. My friend calls me a retriever. It's her. That's what she calls me.
Oh, he'll always come back. Oh, retrieving the rosette. Over 300 good churches, lovely expats, great varieties going. Well, Gordon, I'm glad you mentioned the expat community because off the back of our last live stream show, we were made an offer to perform at some expat clubs, I think in Southeast Asia. So maybe see you there. I think it's time for another song, guys. Should we roll the clip?
Very much so.
Let's go, Nigel.
Nigel,
roll the clip, please. Number 2. Ooh, I think
it's because we just were going, on and on. Ooh, what's your favorite place in France?
Rochefort, because of the film Les Demoiselles de Rochefort.
Well, virtually, I think I have a virtual favorite place I haven't been to, but I want to go to. Actually, 2, and they're both actually. Gordon, you're going to enjoy this. The Sainte-Chapelle, the stained glass windows of Sainte-Chapelle. I just really want to go to them. And Chartres Cathedral. I'd like to walk the labyrinth because it's beautiful. Ooh. It's a beautiful thing to look at. Lots of goblins and things.
Actually, continuing that theme, if I may, I want to go to Mont Saint-Michel because that's a very beautiful church again. Gordon, you'll be pleased. Set on a lake, isn't it? I think I've seen some amazing pictures.
Oh yeah.
But meanwhile,
St. Michael's Mount in Cornwall. It's very similar.
Very similar. Any word from Nigel? Nigel, I think he's gone on strike. Very French of him, actually.
She could see from my face that I was.
Now, once again, that tricksy word beautiful is back. This time on the pillowy lips of an improbably high-voiced army veteran.
You know the one. Really was in the army. His name is rhyming slang for
my life is brilliant.
All right, mate.
And then there's that gap, apparently because he just came in too early in the original recording. But he's happy to coolly repeat the brag.
My life is brilliant. My love is pure. I saw an angel. Of that I'm sure.
Okay.
She smiled at me on the subway. She was with another man.
Oh.
But I won't lose no sleep on that, cause I've got a plan. Tell them the plan, guy.
You're beautiful.
There's that word again.
You're beautiful.
And again.
You're beautiful, it's true.
Okay, what about the plan?
I saw your face in a crowded place, and I don't know what to do.
Wait, James, wait a minute. You literally just said that you had a plan. You heard that, didn't you? And now you're saying you don't know what to do. This wouldn't have washed in the army, mate.
Captain Blunt, the Russians have captured the airport. What are we going to do?
What's that? You're effing high. You've hotboxed your tank. I can't even begin to say how irresponsible that is. You're my commanding officer, for Christ's sakes.
Baffling.
Thanks for watching.
Do subscribe.
And comment with any songs that you think need a good talking to.
Bounder and Cat.
And we mean it. Please do hit us up with suggestions of songs that you would like to call out for having, slightly backhanded lyrics. But on with the quiz. Guy, I will lead. Question number 3, factual. Captain James Blunt served in a conflict in which partially recognized southeastern European state?
Bosnia,
Very close.
Bulgaria.
Begins with a K.
Begins with a P. K. Yeah, got a K. I heard K. Kosovo? No, not Kosovo.
Yes, Kosovo.
Oh, Kosovo. Okay, great.
Well, even though it's 100% Kosovo, that's correct answer. Thank you very much. Question number 4, Guy. Oh. And while we're on, apparently James Blunt averted World War III because he was ordered in the Kosovan conflict to fire on some Russians in an airport. And he defied the order because he said he didn't want to be responsible for starting World War III. And instead, he's responsible for that song, Beautiful, which some would say.
Oh, he's a proper hero.
Proper hero. Question number 4, please, Guy. What was your favourite thing about meeting James Blunt on both occasions?
Oh,
name drop.
Well, my favourite thing about the first one was that I was able to tell him that skit. I just went through the skit. We were both fairly drunk, so I thought it was a good idea, and he was prepared to listen for long enough. But it just got to the point where it was embarrassing. I mean, I was doing that skit to the man himself, sort of taking the mick out of
ad hominem, as they used to call it.
An ad hominem. But basically, I thought it was going really badly. Then he turned it around and then said, "Yeah, I know. 10 years ago, someone interviewed me and started with the question. So I'm talking to one-hit wonder, James Blunt, and that's how the interview started." Wow. Which is actually probably true. So it's sort of factual in a way, like these factual questions.
Brilliant. And Guy, what about the second time you met James Blunt? Did that go a bit smoother? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it was equally at the same time in the evening, sort of about 2 in the morning, I think, wasn't it?
The best time to meet James Blunt.
And I can't remember most of it. I think you.
I do. I remember one detail.
You've been quite witty, and I was softening the blows, I think.
It was very, very thoughtful of you. I did manage to smoke a cigarette backwards in front of, or attempt to. I lit a cigarette from the phone, trying to look cool, clearly betraying the fact that I'm not a habitual smoker.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, well that was that. Thank you, lovely.
I had a better recollection of the meeting.
Well, that's a 3 out of 2. You've got some 7 out of 2.
Can you remember what I told you about the meters? Because that's probably more useful than what I can remember.
The only piece I remember, you said he was wearing a rather horrible cut-off T-shirt.
Oh, yeah. No,
please may I have my questions, Guy?
Yeah. Okay, what did James Blount, because that's actually how you spell his name, study at university?
Ooh. Banter? Lash? I don't know. No, he went to Sandhurst, didn't he? Does that
he went to a normal university. It was a good university, but it was a straight up university.
And anthropology?
It's really weird. It's really weird.
Art history of art. Normally stereotype. Biology, chemistry, physics, Greek and Latin.
No. Think like he goes into the army. Engineering, yeah, but a certain kind of engineering.
Chemical engineering.
No, more sort of like really big picture, blue sky thinking.
Structural engineering.
Aerospace engineering.
Oh, no, I can't take the point for that. Thank you for the heavy clues there. I didn't even say it. Okay, next question, please.
Okay. If you were in James Blount's position in that song, would you just keep on telling the girl she's beautiful as your plan? If not, what would your plan be?
It's a very good point, and it's something I've considered this scenario a lot, and indeed that in fact inspired the little song that we did. I think I just keep my distance because I know this is a very uncaddish thing to say, but the whole point.
Before we carry on, do we know? Do our audience know what actually was? Yeah, the context of the song,
which we actually heard. That's what we talked to James Blount about. We asked him who the girl was and who the other man was. I believe that the other man was in fact actor Tom Hollander. Isn't that right?
Are you supposed to say that?
Loud. No, I think it's on the internet. This is disclosed. It's common knowledge. Common knowledge.
Okay, fine, all right.
I because Tom Hollander is, you know, of Napoleonic stature in his early days. I just sort of stand up on the tube and offer him my chair, and I think that would just create a lot of confusion. And then I'd run away with the girl. That's the plan. I don't think it would work, but I think it'd be better than just crooning your beautiful hair, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that's a very good plan.
Thank you. All right.
That's the question. Sorry about that.
It's a very good question. I think the answer was unsatisfactory. But time for some better questions, even better answers, guys on the internet and girls, mostly girls, maybe. What questions do we have, please? Ooh. Oh, very, very good. But also sorry, because you don't want it to.
Faye. Indeed, Faye, I think we even had this exchange on Facebook this week. I think you told me about it. So I think it was Faye that actually subconsciously reminded me of my favourite place in France.
Or was he playing to the gallery? Small Napoleon dude, exactly. Tom Hollander. He's a superb actor. He's terrifying in The Night Manager, playing Corky, Hugh Laurie's lieutenant. Ooh. Do you want to go first, Guy? Shall I?
Who's your favourite singer? Male and female?
It's got to be and what's the word? Hermaphrodite singer. What's your favourite female singer?
I don't know. Freddie Mercury comes to mind for a male singer.
He's almost male and female because of the extent of his range. That's
okay. Well, maybe both answers then.
Yeah, I would say I'm going to go a bit more trad. I say this every week. Just Sinatra. He's actually early Sinatra. I'd say because I've been listening to some of his earlier recordings. He's just got a much sweeter and lighter sound. Particularly his a wonderful version of Someone Who'll Watch Over Me. I'd recommend. Female singer Ella Fitzgerald. Superpower. What would it be and why? Ooh. Guido, any ideas or shall I?
Yeah, to always know whether someone's telling the truth or not.
Ooh, like Mel Gibson in What Women Want. That's only with women.
Slightly different because that's specifically women. That'd be great. I mean, I'd love that too. But no, it's more just a kind of barometer of truthfulness.
I like it. Good, honest
Adam,
answer.
Adam, what would your superpower be if you could have one?
My superpower. I think it would be. I've been listening to a lot of Eminem today for a future project. You heard it here first. Boundary CAD collab. Not with Eminem, but just you'll see. And Eminem apparently has broken the world record for the fastest rap in the world. Because I think he gets about 7 words a second or something ridiculous like that. So I think I could just sort of spit, as they call it in the trade, faster than Eminem and break his record. So I think I'm going to need superpowers to take down the champ. So that's why.
Those are like perfect for who we are, Boundary and CAD. Yeah. Those two. Yeah.
Honest and aggressive. That's all. Yeah. Piece of literature. Cheese song by Boundary and CAD? No. Homer's Iliad, got to be there. It's canonical.
Yeah, I might go for Harry Potter, even though I didn't know George Weasley. I don't know whether that's a serious answer, but it's certainly, I loved it. I think it's the book I've loved reading the most was Harry Potter. But whether that means I think it's the best piece of literature, I don't know. It's a different thing.
Now I think of it, Kimberly, if I may offer a second answer. The Golden Gate by Vikram Seth, which you'll notice rhyme. And the whole of this novel is written in rhyme. You may wonder, it's an incredible blending of the novel and poetry, I suppose. What's your favourite piece of literature, Kimberly? Please let us know. It's already 7 o'clock. Time is really flying. Think it's time for another song, Guy?
Yes.
Roll the clip, please, Nigel.
Question.
Like a rose garden has to have thorns. Like a bird likes to live in a tree. Like you'll never get rid of your shadow. Dave, you'll never get rid of me. We're full of promise, bright and young. I made our parliament so well hung. Clegg, I'll back him on healthcare, then in for the kill. Dave The vote referendum, the mansion tax bill. It's lucky that my pad's just under 2 mil. But if it gets tricky, I can pull my old U-turn Clegg.
The honeymoon's over, the lesson is learned. We're in it together, I'd rather we weren't.
Giving up the Punch and Judy show. I beat him at tennis, you know.
Top tax down 10%.
Don't you mean 5?
Solving the welfare trap.
Austerity drive.
See money better spent.
You mean deprive.
And we'll scrap the green crap, hug a husky,
Clegg.
an albatross maybe, but hardly a curse. The marriage ain't perfect, but could have been worse.
At least he isn't Miliband. We'll keep it together till 2015, or till he can better his deal with the Queen.
Society's big, but we've gotta think lean.
We're like a tripod with an extra leg. We're Dave, Cameron, and Clegg.
Again, the wrong website. We need to update these video end cards. So we've been seeing that rose garden in the news this week, but more on that story later. Guy, question number 5. What is the nationality of Nick Clegg's mother? And here's her name.
Oh, she's Venezuelan.
I think his wife might be. You're very close. That's a very Freudian explanation. Her name is Hermans. I'll try and get the accent right. Hermans van den Waal Bakker. I don't think it's pronounced bake at the end.
Oh, that's probably South African, isn't it?
Yeah, I gave completely the wrong accent there. But you're on the right track. Thing like OG.
Netherlands.
Yes, yes. Netherlands is Dutch. Yes, yeah, Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands, Dutch, yeah.
Which is ironic because he should probably have been called Nick Clog.
Oh.
Terrible. But quite appropriate because also orange is the colour of the Dutch, isn't it? And orange is the colour of the Lib Dems. So there's a lot going on there that have determined. Question number 6, Guy. What was your favourite thing about performing at number 10 Downing Street? So there's been a lot of name dropping this week, but go on, Guy. Let it out.
My favourite thing was coming off stage, giving you a high five, and then you saying, that is our first gig in London and probably our last. And I just thought, that is just such an absurd line to say to me backstage.
I really put it so well in the moments. Well, yeah, I suppose this is true, listeners. We had this
it was just it was extraordinary, the release, because I think we'd been rehearsing in the state dining room for the entire day, and the build-up was extraordinary, and it was our first gig in London. We were complete newbies.
We were sort of fresh out of university, having just done the Prince Harry song, that sort of thing. And it's very jammy, and this again is on the record on the internet, so I'm not afraid to divulge it. A friend of ours was working for the great David Cameron, and they wanted a band on the cheap, and they thought of us, and it was honestly quite an insult to the fee. But
can we say the fee?
Can you remember? Maybe don't.
It was really bad.
Tax purposes go. Like, this is a bit risky. That's not. No finances. I didn't. It was low. But we said these, and for the occasion, we wrote a cheeky song, which you just heard, about Cameron and Clegg. But they vetoed it. They said we're not to perform it. But what do we go and do, Guy?
Well, we performed it, but David Cameron had left the building, and then.
Dancing, twirling around with Samantha. It's very sweet.
And then someone said, go on, sing the song. We're like, what do you mean? Which song? And they said, the song. And apparently it had gone up every single email, hierarchies, each level, each rank, all right to the top. They'd all said yes, apart from the principal private secretary, who is an important person, clearly, because then they said, yeah, funny, but too close to the bone, so not to be performed. So we literally got vetoed.
But then we did it anyway, after Decam had left.
And
anyway, fond memory.
A fond memory.
Guido, do you have...
For my question, my question is, and it follows on for the end of the story, actually.
Neat.
Who from our experience at number 10 is still a key player today in government?
Ooh, I'm thinking one of two people. I feel it's going to betray my knowledge of ignorance. I remember we saw Joe Johnson, brother of Boris.
He's out. He resigned.
Of course he did, with some fanfare. I think it must be Oliver Dowden.
It was. Who is
Oh,
now? Who is he now?
Well, I know that to David he's called Olive. Apparently some strange Italian throwback. He called all his male staff by female nicknames. But
He was chief of staff, wasn't he? Which is now the position that Dominic Cummings occupies.
Oh, so he could have had a big promotion this week.
Pretty much, isn't it? No, I may be wrong about that. Well, anyway, he's now culture secretary. So he should be getting up.
Heard of us, exactly. Bring back culture. Bring back the NC.
When he came up to us afterwards, he was the one that had shouted, just, they've gone, the principal private secretary's gone, Cameron's gone, just sing it anyway. It was him. He basically gave the order, so we sung it, which was great. Now, oh yes, and he also said that, having heard it, we should write the number 10 letters that they get every day, like from people who are angry and stuff. So,
wow, that would have been a gig. Did we say no to that?
But he did ask us to never speak to the press, and we stupidly didn't, which we should have done.
We did a few years later. You can see it in the evening.
Yeah, we should have done it at the time, and anyway, we didn't, because we're good boys. We're good boys. We're taught. We honour our.
Quite right.
So, Adam, second question, more personal.
Please.
As a satirist, what is the favourite political skewering that you have given? And that's the first question. There are actually two questions for some reason. I don't know.
Ooh, okay. Skewering, I think it was the one we did shortly after that, again starring David Cameron. Because for a while, ladies and gentlemen, our show sort of had like a David Cameron section to the set. I did another song about the Scottish referendum, which took the form of effectively a rap battle between David Cameron and Alex Salmond, also in the news a lot lately. So I think, that was quite fun, because I think David, which Guy played, had such withering put-downs of old Salmonds. I think that was probably it.
Yeah. Okay, and the other question I had was, which party leader over the last 10 years would you most like to have dinner with, and why?
Vladimir Putin, because I hear he serves very exciting tea.
Very good. Well, that leaves us
to open the floor again.
Open the floor. Give us your questions.
Please.
Anything.
Answer those questions. Favorite gig? Oh, actually, not one of the ones you just heard about. Thank you. And hello again, Amanda. How are you doing? How are your patients? If I remember correctly, Amanda is a nurse in Scotland. So I think, we're there.
A Scottish nurse.
Let's at the NHS. I'd say very dammy. We got to go to Barbados. That was very nice. I think that's up there. And we got to meet Jeremy Kyle there, who briefly had an endorsement on our website, but then he hit the headline, so he had to go. Guy, yours.
Favorite gig? We did one of. I just love the characters. It's usually not really the place, but the kind of the very strange people that book us.
Like Jeremy Kyle.
We did. I know I've said very strange. So I can't really say it out loud now. But no, we did it. We did one in a club, which
that was
where Woodhouse was based. His PG Woodhouse, Jeeves and Worcester, based on the drone club.
Be careful about
it. I'm not going to go any further, but apart from the cricket, the cricket in the bar, they play it. So that was a really good experience.
And meanwhile, speaking of fun gigs, hello to Janice. Yes, we did once perform at this funny event for this very funny thing called Radio HP, and there were lots of polo ponies, that kind of thing, divot stamping, and it rained, so it was everything we wanted. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much, Nigel, for recapping us. Different Nigel. Lovely. Keep them coming. I'm enjoying this. I think we've got a bit more time. Dutch. Going Dutch. Double Dutch. Dutch courage. Actually, Guy, do you know
Nigel's holding that one back. It's come back. It's come.
Yeah. Guy, bonus question. Do you know the origin of the phrase Dutch courage? This is quite hard, this one.
Is it to do with some kind of naval like naval history thing.
Military, definitely. It could be naval. I think what happened was the Dutch, who, as we know, are responsible for Nick Clegg, used to have very good mercenaries. And whenever they used to go into battle, they have a bit of what they call Jennifer, which I think is where we get the word gin. So that was their way of, being courageous. The Dutch drinking gin. Who'd have thought? Rubbery.
The entire irrigation system of the Fenland in East Anglia is thanks to Dutch water engineering. And we have so much to be grateful to the Dutch for.
Well, what have the Dutch done for us? Okay, I'm going to keep this theme going, if I may. Do we know what the Dutch reach is? Because remember somebody had a theory that if you put the word Dutch in front of anything, it sounds slightly rude. I think that's true in the case of certain shops, certainly, and substances. And the Dutch oven, I think, is some obscene practice, but we're not going to go into that. The Dutch reach, however, is very innocent, and in fact, could have saved my life had I been killed at the time when it would have been applicable. It's the practice of opening a car door with the opposite hand. So if I want to get out this side, I reach over, thereby turning my body to making sure I see any oncoming cyclists, so you don't door the cyclist. So that is the Dutch reach. That's the Dutch driving test, performing the Dutch reach.
That should be on the highway code of the UK. That should be another import, shouldn't it?
I agree. I think, oddly enough, the day I was knocked off by someone failing to observe the Dutch reach, it was, I think, ratified by the DVSLA.
On account of your misfortune?
No, not pure. I like to think it was, some sort of appeal or cosmic alignment, but neither.
That's a great story, by the way that finished. Adam actually confronted the man.
It goes on. Well, I confronted the woman responsible, but then she referred me to her husband. And then I had to meet him in the lobby of a hotel for a cup of coffee, and he gave me an envelope full of cash to pay for the damages. And we actually got on quite well. So it was a very, very odd dynamic. But if you're listening, we're all cool. And the money covered the repairs. All right, is it time for another song, Guy?
I think it must be.
I think, in fact, this is going to be our final song, unless an encore is demanded. But let's do this one. This is a nice summary one. Roll the clip, please, Nigel.
The boys that are Bounder and Cat.
If you go down to the woods today, you'll witness a quaint display. They've cut the quail eggs, the roulards rolled, they're crisping the creme brulee. They'll shun the wasps and beat off the bugs, to sprawl about and eat off their rugs. Today's the day the British will have their picnic. The skies are grey and the clouds are black, but it will be such a lark. They pass the humus and prep the pins when Noah would build his ark. Their brollies buckle, their serviettes fly. They may be drenched, but the Sauvignon's dry. Today's the day the British will have their picnic. Ziploc bags and Tupperware, but something always leaks, there's vinegar in the eaten mess. Stretch out till your trousers tear, and pour the dressing on your summer dress. Refuse that extra treat you'd like, so you can resent the type that gobbles the last eclair. But hymns o'clock will go on so long as you pass the bottle around, because you're stuck in your folding chair. They've lost the corkscrew, the dog's been sick, the cheeses have caused distress. This flan is ghastly. I made it. Oh, I thought it was M&S. They've seen the dog is kept on a leash, then tottered back and stepped on a quiche. Today's the day the British will have their picnic. Ziploc bags and Tupperware, but something always leaks, there's vinegar in the eaten mess. Stretch out till your trousers tear, and pour the dressing on your summer dress. Refuse that extra treat you like, so you can resent the type that gobbles the last eclair. But hymns o'clock will go on so long
process on in your falling child.
Oh, picnics.
Oh,
I think as of next week, we're allowed to mix households. Very exciting. Oh, we
how
were
old we look now.
yeah, pretty old.
Yeah. Well, Adam, that is just I love looking back at these sort of really, really old videos.
Kimberly, yes. I'm going to skirt over that one. Yeah, it's also, as you would have noticed, ladies and gentlemen, we sort of adopted this sort of animation style of using these fun images from Google in our earlier days, which I quite enjoyed, but they took a lot of work, didn't they, guys?
Well, I think on a copyright front, we're definitely bound in CAD. So I was looking at all of the copyright claims as they were coming across my screen.
Very good illustration of, yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So we'll put that boundary aside. We're better at image copyright these days. Oh, hello, Britannia.
Bad habits to be taken up.
Yeah, zoom tidy room and tidy home. This is true. Yeah, a few of our videos, Guy and I have both been effectively in our pajamas, dressing gown, looking rather like lounge lizards, as we're known to be. Guy, anything particular?
Yeah, I think I know it sounds awful, but sort of I've worked too hard. I think I'm just my head is just sort of hurting. I think that's, but I have done the Netflix stuff, and I think I don't know if it's a bad habit or not. It's just sort of completely taken over my life.
What did you think yourself with that broadsword, if we're correct? Actually, Amy, what's the story of that sword? I'm very, very intrigued. Oh,
thanks, Amy. Look, it's you just honestly, please.
You're very kind. But tell us about your sword. All right, yeah, and as you would have seen in that clip, it was compared by Giles Brandreth, who's been using very funny poems on Twitter. So he did a wonderful spoof of daffodils. Did you see that, Guy?
I did. My mother sent me that via WhatsApp.
My dad sent it to me. So one for really, yeah. I'll get
it's the one you better be watching out for.
That's right. Hot tips. Okay, some little quizzy questions. Nigel, keep the questions. Actually, Nigel, hold the questions for now. So you want to deal with them properly. So almost exactly to time, which is very exciting. Guy, number 7. Quite tricky. Okay. What are the ingredients of Pimm's? And it's a bit of a trick question, actually. Coca-Cola. No, take a step back. And why might this be a trick question? Think of have you heard the mythology surrounding Coca-Cola and the recipe for that? Or McDonald's?
I don't know the answer, I'm afraid.
Well, an answer I'd accept is that it's a secret. It's a secret ingredient.
Okay. Well,
but a bit of light Googling has told me that the key ingredients are, again, repeating this Dutch theme that's run through the whole show. Gin, Jennifer. Is that Dutch? Maybe. Herbal botanicals, caramelized orange, and warm spices. Ooh, TV binges. We will come on to those, Kim. Let's run on TV binges. Question number 8. This is again quite a personal one. Guy, if you were to treat me to a picnic, what would be in that hamper? So you can take your time.
I think some sperm whales roe.
Wow, Guy, that really is going the extra mile. How long?
I mean, obviously champagne.
Yeah, that's enough, frankly. I think sperm whale roe and champagne feels like the ultimate boundless delight. But is it on brand for us to be eating that? Is it a bit too
sourdough bread? Because I know you like both words to be next to each other.
I do. Thank you very much. Sourdough bread. Yeah, the guys wrote this is a little pet peeve of mine. It's slightly not got anything against Americans. We embrace Americans with open arms, but they often omit words. Like rather than saying iceberg lettuce, they'll say with iceberg, and that's potentially confusing if you ordered that on the Titanic, for example. And similarly, Monterey Jack's often just like with Jack. I suppose Jack Daniels, again, you don't know what you're getting on your burger. And there's one I saw the other day from Barry's Boot Camp, which is a slightly American style fitness camp. And they said if you sign up for 3 classes, you get a free Barry's tank. Not meaning an armored vehicle, meaning a car. Yes, which you actually once bought, didn't you, Guy?
Don't. Yes. It was embarrassing.
Cost about £60 or something, didn't it? It had a little...
I'm trying to.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Right,
My question.
we're coming to the end, believe it or not.
Question, please.
Okay. Now, we're mentioning Giles Brandreth earlier. How many, in 2016, how many of his own teddy bears did Giles Brandreth donate to Newby Hall Museum?
Brilliant. Yeah, I like this kind of, shot in the dark estimates. So the sweets in the jar, Village Fate Star conundrum. I'm going to guess 1,200.
Pretty close. It was 1,000.
Oh, can I get the point?
Incredible that he had 1,000 teddy bears. I mean, that is really
extraordinary. Have you seen his collection of jumpers as well? Because I think these have factored his poetry estate. Great.
They're connected, aren't they? Friendly jumpers and teddy bears are sort of similar, aren't they?
True. Homely.
This another just a quick. It's a quick question. This is a bit weird, but how big will the total folding furniture market be in 2022 in terms of dollars, number of dollars in the whole world?
$1 billion.
$13 billion.
13
billion dollars. Okay.
Very lucky for
a growth of 7% since 2016. Incredible. Now I've got a question for the audience. Oh no, I've got another question for you, which is personal.
Yeah.
When was the last time you hugged your teddy bear?
Oh, Guy, show my tender side. I actually have a collection of teddy bears, but they're actually too small to hug. Weirdly, I used to collect these very small ones. I used to keep in my blazer pocket as a sort of lucky mascot to make me do well in my exams at school. And I had one called Jessie Bear, who I once lost in the car park of a squash course. And there was a lot of weeping and wailing. But he turned up. But no, I haven't hugged any bear for a while, I'm afraid to say.
And have you ever rolled a roulade or crisped a creme brulee?
Crisped? I think I have one of those mini blowtorches. It's just such
now this is a question. Oh, sorry. This is a question for the audience. Where does one get the best ready-made flan? Because we talk about ghastly flans in that song. Does anyone have a place where it gives you, a solid ready-made flan?
What do you look for in a flan? Actually? Let's just throw this out. Throw out the flan question to the audience, because we might have to sign off fairly soon.
Yeah.
Good place for a flan, or any other concluding questions? And do you want an encore? I think that's the last one we ultimately want to ask. And coupled with that, as Nigel, encore is okay. Thank you, Amanda. We will
very quick.
Work at anything. Your wish is our command. Up the nurses, especially the Scottish nurses. Yeah, Scottish nurses are more appealing than Scottish widows. What are the Scottish widows? They always look quite scary in those banquets. Scottish nurses, however,
witches, aren't they? They look like sort of.
They are, yeah, a bit slightly Scottish.
Wonderful, really.
Right, yeah. Okay, well, should we just hit that encore? Very well, Rebecca.
Like a magical version of Saga magazine. Scottish Widows. I don't really know what it is.
Theme in the next show, perhaps. But thank you, everyone, very much for coming. If there's any feedback you have, the more critical, the better. Please leave us a little review online. Do follow us on social media. I'm sure you do, @BounderCAD. We're all over the place.
And sign up to our email list. Be our pen pal.
We'll be very devoted, if dilatory, pen pals. And Amy, we still don't know about your soul, but maybe for another time. Thank you, everyone. Please roll that encore. Nigel.
Hey, Adam.
Hello, Guy.
What are you wearing?
I'm a bit behind on laundry.
Oh, right. Hey, I found us another song.
Are you sure about this one?
Yes. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Go on, it's your verse now.
Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away.
Oh, lovely!
So will you please say hello to the girls that I know? Tell them I won't be long.
That's not what I heard. that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. Here we go. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Wasn't that nice? But wait for it.
What on earth is that?
It's the military husbands choir. I met them in a chat room.
What?
Everybody at home, sing along. Sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be alone. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing the song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. So nice. Well, till that sunny day, bro.
Guys, we have our answer from Amy. It is a replica of Excalibur because she did an MA in Celtic with a specialism in Arthurian legend. There it is.
And to the earlier question about our binges, Last Kingdom and Medici.
All suitably Arthurian.
All 7 seasons. All 7 seasons.
Lots of swords. Be safe with your swords. Stay well.
Everyone. See you next week. Same time, same place.
If you like.
All right.